Tonight on To The Point, we discuss child custody, the benefits, the challenges that come along with that, as well as the joint arrangements and just how one then is supposed to manage them. And when I say one, we evidently know that it's about a woman and a man. It's not been an easy journey, especially for the children themselves. And therefore, we'll be having an advocate who will help us understand the processes at the level of the court. We'll be having a life coach who actually walks some of these people through the journey of divorce or of course separation, and just how important it is to make sure that the children are considered in whatever arrangement that is going to be agreed upon. But of importance, also we'll be having, well, a divorce recovery coach as well. She'll be sharing her experience equally as we speak of just how important it is to factor in the concerns of the children as you decide on the question of who is to take child custody. Welcome on board. My name is Linda Alela, and of course we'll be getting into that discussion shortly. As you can evidently see, all is set, and of course the guests will be occupying these seats shortly for that very important conversation. But before it gets to then, it is equally important that we are aware of what is in the world of news, and here are the highlights. On TV47 Weekend Edition, police in Muhoroni launch manhunt for 28-year-old man suspected to have hacked to death 4 of his family members, including pregnant wife and 5-year-old son in Kisumu County. And lobby groups point out discord between the office of the DPP and the EACC, warning this threatens efforts in combating corruption in the country, recommending EACC to be granted prosecutorial powers. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua reveals stringent measures to be rolled out in a bid to wipe out illicit brews and drugs beginning Monday. Bar owners welcoming the move.
Kwa hivyo tunataka pia mahakama zetu zikuwe macho kabisa na zichukue hatua kali.
In a special report, we tell you of the paradox brought about by the existing stringent laws prohibiting cutting down of trees in government-manned forests. And welcome back to the broadcast. TV47 Weekend Edition begins right now. My name is Linda Alela once again, and we also have on the sign languages interpreter's desk, that is Catherine Simaloi. We start off on this matter. Of course, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested the Deputy Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly of Taita Taveta. And of course, this is after the commission received a complaint through an allegation of corruption and misappropriation of public funds, and that is in Taita Taveta County Assembly. Let's take a look at that.
The war on graft took a new turn in Taita Taveta County after the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission (EACC) descended on the coastal county following a complaint. EACC commenced investigations on the complaint and established that a total amount of 17 million Kenya shillings was utilized for the alleged trip, out of which 9 million Kenya shillings was directly paid to the organizers for the conference and travel arrangements, and the balance of 8 million Kenya shillings was paid as impressed advance to 30 officers who were to attend the training in Zanzibar. The Commission further compiled and forwarded the file with findings and recommendations to ODPP, who concurred with the proposed charges against the Clerk of the Assembly, Gediel Mnyambo Maganga, and the Deputy Speaker, Anselm Modime Chao. The Deputy Speaker has already been arrested as the EACC asks the remaining suspect to surrender himself. They will face 5 charges, including abuse of office, willful failure to comply with the law, uttering false documents, false accounting, and financial misconduct. In its quarterly report dated 1st October 2023 to 31st December 2023, EACC forwarded 27 files to the Director of Public Prosecutions, out of which 24 were recommended for prosecution. The files range from government parastatals as well as allegations of conflict of interest and receipt of irregular benefits of 56 million Kenya shillings against the former governor of the county government of Kakamega, Wycliffe Oparanya. EACC has also launched an inquiry into allegations of procurement irregularities at the Embakasi North constituency amounting to 51 million Kenya shillings. Also on the commission's radar is allegations of irregular tender award and embezzlement of funds by officers of Bomas of Kenya in the award of general insurance cover for financial years 2020 to 2021 and 2021 to 2022 to CIC General Insurance Limited. The Bomas of Kenya is also under serious scrutiny for allegations of irregular award of tenders and embezzlement of funds by officials of Bomas of Kenya Limited during financial year 2020 to 2021 through splitting of tenders and contracts to various companies amounting to 8 million Kenya shillings. George Maringa, TV47, Nairobi.
And police in Muhoroni, Kisumu County have launched a manhunt of a 28-year-old, that is Shem Akuku, who allegedly hacked 4 people, among them his 5-month pregnant wife, as well as his child. And according to the family, the Saturday night incident came as a shocker, and of course saying that the suspect is a loving and caring person and can't comprehend the motive behind the murder.
Nikasindwa, sijui nitafanya nini, nitasema nini. Nilikuwa nje nikapata tu simu kitu kama 1:30. Kama napigwa simu kula Kirecha. Kama kuna matatizo alitendeka kwa boma. Dadi aliua mtoto, aliua bibi, aliua mke mwesangu mwingine anaitwa Nyamaseno. Aliua babu yake pia. Sasa dadi aliua watu 4. Nikasanga alikuwa sijui kufanya nifanye nini. Nianze na wapi? Sina nyingi ya kufanya jamani, hata ya kusema. Hiyo tu, alikuwa mtoto mpole, hakuna wasiwasi kwake, maneno nyingi hakuna. Dadi alikuwa hana maneno.
Jana nilipata habari kitu kama 1:30, nikapigiwa simu hapa nyumbani kwamba kumekuwa na vita na hata watu wameuana. Sasa nikauliza nani ameua? Wakaniambia ni huyo kijana yangu. Nikamwambia na ameua nani? Nikaambiwa kwamba ameua bibi yake na mtoto. Hata sikuwa na habari kama kulikuwa na wengine. Sasa nilipotoka Kericho kweli nilikuja mbio. Nikifika hapa nikaingia hapo kwake, nikaona bibi yake hapo na mtoto. Mtoto alikuwa kwa mlango nje, lakini bibi yake alikuwa ndani. Sasa nikaona watu pia, msanyiko ya watu kama wako kando ya boma yangu hapa. Nikienda hapo, kumbe hapo nao pia kuna mwili mzee mwingine ambao pia ni ndugu yangu tu, ni step brother, ni ndugu yangu, sisi ni familia moja tu. Sasa nikaona tena hapo, ndio naambiwa tena kwamba ameua semeji yangu tena mwingine kwa boma yake tena huko chini.
All right, the government has made significant strides towards the realization of the country's development agenda in the past 1 year. This is according to President William Ruto, who cited education, job creation, healthcare, and agriculture as the key areas that the government has made tremendous success in.
Speaking during the African Independent Pentecostal Church of Africa AIPCA centenary celebrations at Kasarani in Nairobi, President William Ruto defended the Kenya Kwanza government's performance for the last 1 year.
Tumeona vile Mungu ametuwezesha tukafanya mambo mengi kwa mwaka mmoja iliyopita, na haingewezekana bila Mwenyezi Mungu na bila maombi yenu. Mimi kwa niaba ya serikali ya Kenya nataka niwashukuru sana, to the church, to the religious community in Kenya. We very sincerely thank you for offering prayers for our country, for our nation, and for all the plans that we have to transform Kenya into the country that we all want
President Ruto cited education, job creation, healthcare and agriculture as the key areas it has made tremendous success in.
Nimefurahi kusikia ya kwamba ile asara kidogo ilipatikana pale nyuma, kuna watu hawakusoma. Sasa tumetia msingi thabiti maneno ya elimu. Mwaka uliopita tuliajiri walimu 56,000. Mwaka huu tutaajiri walimu 20,000. Budget yetu tumeongeza karibu bilioni 127 ya kusaidia masomo ya watoto wa taifa letu la Kenya.
Ati generations mbili hawakusoma. 2 generations kwa sababu mababa zao na mama zao walikuwa kwa msitu. Kwa sababu mababa zao na mama zao walikuwa kwa jela. Sisi kama serikali pengine hatuwezi kurudisha mashule, pengine hatuwezi kurudisha hiyo mambo yote, lakini sisi tuko na deni yenu.
The president, accompanied by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja, Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria and other leaders, asked the leaders to support the government of the day in realizing the manifesto they had for the common mwananchi.
Pia mimi nataka nipongeze Archbishop Frederick Wang'ombe. Uchaguzi uliofanyika wa amani, akakubali matokeo. Asante sana Archbishop Frederick Wang'ombe, because that's the way it should be. Na tunataka kuambia viongozi wa Kenya to learn from huyu Archbishop. Uchaguzi ukiisha, unakubali nini? And you support the winner.
President Ruto urged the AIPCA leaders to work together under its new head, presiding Archbishop Samson Muthuri, lauding the former President Uhuru Kenyatta for spearheading unity among church leaders in the country.
Na nikatafuta Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, na mimi nataka nimshukuru kwa sababu alichangia sehemu kubwa kuunganisha kanisa letu.
Lazima tuongee lugha moja, tukae tumeungana na tukae na umoja. Because as president now, if we split in functions, he cannot engage.
Wanji Sostin, TV47.
And Nakuru businessmen under the auspices of Nakuru Bar Owners Association have thrown their weight behind the government's effort to eradicate the sale of illicit liquor, saying that besides claiming lives of Kenyans, the vice is subjecting genuine Kenyans, of course, to tough times. And of course, the businessmen to lose running into billions or to losses running into billions of shillings, as Chichi Josephine now details.
A day after Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua fired a stern warning to illicit brew sellers, bar owners in Nakuru have supported the move by the Deputy President to bring to a halt the consumption of killer brews in Kenya, specifically Mount Kenya region, which has been adversely affected.
Sisi kama baonas wa Bahati tumeamua kwa kauli moja tutapigana kabisa na hizi pombe ambazo zina sumu, kwa sababu hatutaki kusikia mambo kama ile imefanyika kule Murang'a.
Led by the chairperson Abdul Noor, the business persons wanted law enforcement agencies and licensing teams established by various county governments and the National Police Service to ensure stringent compliance with the laws regulating sale and consumption of alcohol.
Hakuna haja ya kuja kubambana na watu kwa vilabu. Unashika wenye vilabu, wanapelekwa kotini, wanasemekana wameunda pombe mbaya, lakini chanzo cha wale watu ambao wanatengeneza pombe mbaya akiangaliwi kimetoka wapi.
Polisi wasipochukua hongo, baadhi itafuata masaa. Wines and spirits itafuata masaa. County wakifanya kazi yao vile inastahili, hatutauza pombe mahali haistahili.
They petitioned the court system to issue stringent bail terms and deterrent fines to offenders contravening the provisions of these laws to completely eradicate and discourage illicit brew consumption, saying some dealers of killer brews had walked scot-free after being slapped with fines as low as 10,000 shillings.
Watu wanapelekwa kotini na ameshikwa na enzano, unakuta mtu anapigwa faini ya shilingi 10,000, shilingi 5,000. Kwa hivyo ni kusema hii itakuwa mtindo. Kwa hivyo tunataka pia mahakama zetu zikue macho kabisa na zichukue hatua kali kwa watu ambao wanapatikana wanalete enza na huku waweze kushikwa.
They further expressed the objection to plans to reduce the number of pubs in towns, but instead called for the closure of illegal or unlicensed alcohol selling outlets.
Sheria ya Mutuzo Law inasema vizuri sana. Huwezi kuuza pombe karibu na shule, huwezi kuuza pombe kwa residential. Hizo sheria kwa sababu ziko, wacha zifuatwe.
Sisi wenyewe tukishikana tunafaa kusema fulani ndiye anayeuza pombe baya, kwa sababu hao customer ndio wanakuja kutuambia fulani anauza hii.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Those who are licensing, when you license, do you visit the area and buy?
And the family of a 26-year-old, that is Lucas Indwasi, is in distress following the sudden disappearance of their kin, who they say he was taken away by unknown men on the 20th of February this year, with little known of his whereabouts or safety.
5 days later. After spending the evening with his mother, Lucas Indwasi, who is a living boda boda operator in Dandora, is said to have left for his two-roomed house and at around 1 a.m. Tuesday, the 20th of February, where, according to Indwasi's brother Abednego Mukalo, 5 men who had disguised their faces by donning masks walked into his house, and after a short fracas, they left together with Lucas in a white Fielder which had no number plate.
Nilipokea simu saa 7 usiku kwa jirani ya Lucas, mwenye ambaye siwezi nikasema jina yake hapa, ndio kusema jina yake pia atakuwa safe. Nilipokea simu nikaambiwa bro yangu amekujiwa na gari white Fielder haina number plate. Kulikuja majamaa wanne, waleleza wanne watano, walikuwa wa huge, wamevaa gloves na Marvins. Moja alikuwa na chuma kwa mkono.
That being the last day that Lucas was reportedly within Dandora Phase 2, his elder brother, who was the first person to be informed about Lucas' mysterious encounter with the unknown men, alleges that unspecified security officers within the area might be involved in the disappearance of the boda boda operator.
It's very bad mambo kama ya kufanyika kwa hizo siku zote 6 bila kupata ukweli. Na unasikia ya kwamba hawa watu ambao wanafaa wawe security ndio wanahusika kwa mambo ya kijana kupotea.
Residents in the area have since pointed out that Indwasi's disappearance is not an isolated incident, calling on the security apparatus in the area to act on the matter and bring a stop to such incidences.
Sasa hivi wenye tuko hapa tuko kwa giza, tujui kitu yote, atujui ako wapi. Ndio maana naomba sana kama ndugu yangu ako mahali wamemficha wako mafichoni, wamrelease arudi venye atakuwa tunamhitaji hivyo.
We want this young man atoke nje. Yeah, so we will escalate this matter. The police should speed up. We want answers. Tuambiwe answers. Kama hakuna answers, we escalate this matter.
On 20th February 2024, Lucas Indwasi was taken from this house, and 6 days later, his whereabouts are unknown. And so the family and residents are demanding for answers as they want their son returned home. For TV47, I am Natasha Wairemo.
We certainly hope that they manage to get a hold of their son. And 3 suspects of the cattle theft escaped the wrath of an angry baying that is from the blood, or baying for their blood, and the trio were conned or transporting, transporting alleged stolen livestock in Kandiwa village, Mwea sub-county, that is in Kirinyaga County, as Isaac Famba reports.
These vehicles are reported to have been found carrying cattle believed to be stolen at Kandiwa village in Kirinyaga County. The occupants of the vehicles are said to be a team of individuals who have been conducting raids in the county making away with livestock. Sunday morning, however, locals successfully laid a trap after one of the locals raised an alarm after he discovered there was an unwanted guest in his home.
Sababu tumesikia kelele ya ng'ombe zimeimbiwa, tukikuja tukakuta wameimba ng'ombe 2 na ndama 2, na nikuzoea wamezoea juu hata njuzi walikuwa wameimba mbuzi na wakaimba watoto. Sasa watu wametuzoea.
The persons alleged behind a cattle theft syndicate in Kirinyaga County this time round did not manage to make away with the stolen property, 2 cows, escaping leaving behind the vehicle.
Wanatuiba ng'ombe kila siku. Kaamua leo hakuna kulala. Watafuta. Wakakuja wakabungua ng'ombe ya kwanza ya pili tukajua. Kaamusana watu wakaamuka. Tukashika hii gari lakini wenyewe walitoroka. Tukachoma gari.
Tumekasirika sana. Juu kitu ya kwanza hii mambo imefanyika tangu kitamba sana. Na alafu tumekasirika sana. Hadi huyo mtu tungemsika hivi. Tungeongea mambo mengine bana.
In recent days, an increase in theft of livestock has spiked, as residents now calling the government to heighten security.
Serikali tunaomba ituangalilie huku Kirinyaga, sababu sinjuzi tulikuwa na mambo hii ya ng'ombe, sasa tunaanza kuimbiwa ng'ombe zetu, mbuzi zetu, tunataka tuangaliwe hiyo mambo.
Isaac Famba, TV47.
And now, Cabinet Secretary Penina Malonza and her counterpart Simon Chelugui have rallied the Kamba community to ditch the opposition and instead support William Ruto-led Kenya Kwanza government. Speaking during a Women's Empowerment Funds drive held in Kitui town, Chelugui noted that being in opposition has seen the Kamba community lag behind in terms of development.
Uchaguzi umekwisha. Ama kuna mtu bado anatafuta kura? Si kura tulimaliza na tukapata rais, tukapata mawaziri, tukapata naibu wa rais, tukapata governor, senator, women rep, mjumbe na MCA. Si hao hiyo kazi ilisha. Sasa ni wakati wa kazi. Wenye bado wanaongelelea siasa au wamepitwa na wakati. Hatuwezi ongea siasa leo, kesho na kesho kutwa. Watu watakula nini? Sababu ukianza kuongea siasa asubuhi, saa 6 na jioni, wakati gani utaenda shamba? Wakati gani utaenda kazi?
And Kenyans have been advised to look for alternative sources of income rather than relying solely on one source of revenue. This is, of course, withstanding the threats that have been posed by the whole cost of living. Entrepreneurs in Nairobi, led by Jane Bayu, the CEO of Amara Real Estate, asserted that working Kenyans must initiate entrepreneurial ventures in order to supplement their income.
So we have a lot of diaspora clients, and luckily for them, the dollar has favored them, the pound and the euro has favored them. So they've been able to invest a lot with us. But even locally, we have been able to get and to tap into the market. So even when there are challenges, I tell people, do not get into that mindset that there are challenges, because the moment you put in your mind that the challenges are there, the first thing you wake up in the morning, you think about the challenges instead of how you can be able to overcome those challenges. So mine and our team is to focus on what can we do, ignoring the challenges that are around us. We have a huge gap in the housing market, a huge gap of over 200,000 homes a year. This gap can only be met if people from various sectors come together. We have the government that is championing for affordable homes. We have us as a private developers who are also getting into that. That is the only way we'll be able to bridge that gap of affordable homes, because housing is a basic need. Let's put it, it's a basic need. We are told that food, clothing and shelter are the basic needs of a human being.
And the existing stringent laws prohibiting cutting down of trees in government-manned forests across the country is turning to be a paradox. Benefits from trees which have already matured cease to benefit both the ecosystem as well as communities living around the forest areas, with the already matured trees rotting down and benefiting none, albeit the call to embracing environmental conservation and extensive tree plantation in mitigating the far-reaching impacts of climate change. Nicholas Bai takes a dive of the actual scenario prevailing in this government-controlled woodlands.
This is the current situation. Mature trees that have fallen and started to rot, at least in the majority of government-protected forests across the country.
Serikali tupatie ruhusa ya kukata hizi zenye zimeanguka, zile zimeanguka. Unaona zikianguka zina faida kwetu.
na sina faida pia kwa serikali.
Environmental experts attribute the situation as a consequence of the decision and directive of the 2018 moratorium, which does not allow the cutting of trees in government forest.
The moratorium came, we were never given any time to remove. We left all already felled trees there and we went out. All those got decayed there.
Also, in the forest of Mboni, Makuli, Nzawi and Kilungu in Makueni County, loss in an estimate to the tune of millions of Kenya shillings, a government is recorded every year due to wildfire and windfalls.
Vizuri kama ingewezekana ifanyiwe salvage. Iko na eneo 23 hectares na karibu nusu yake imeathirika na moto.
Community Forest Association lifting the lead in the gap that exists in forest management and climate change mitigation.
As a community, we feel pained for these trees to go to waste. And these are plantations which were planted to benefit the government by revenue collection from the trees once they mature.
Relevant stakeholders in forest management are advocating for these amendments in laws governing forests.
Many of the plantations we have been planted a long time ago. And right now, we are experiencing some losses because of mature trees which have become less metabolic in terms of carbon sequestration. We believe that removing such a trees within the plantation areas are now able to bring in young trees that are able now to have active photosynthesis, which are able to concentrate carbon sequestration for climate change.
The impact of the forest management has now reached beyond the industry itself, influencing even private sectors such as timber investors and leading to the shutdown of sawmill operations.
Wale investors walikuwa